And welcome back as we continue our day 4 of CMA Industry Week, starting the morning strong with Metra. So we had an opportunity to go through the basic Metra line. And as we continue through the schedule, we're going to go segment by segment. And this session is going to be designated to Axxess Integrate, integration products from Metra. And to help me pilot through this, of course, is our Canadian sales manager, Mr. Gatlin Sandhu.
Hello, hello.
So we had a really good time on that first session.
Yeah, again, lots to talk about, but we got through the majority of it. Like Metra is such a large and vast variety of products, and so we're dipping into our Axxess brand, and this is integration. This is integration, everybody, and there's a lot to kind of go over and talk about. And so, I've got my friends Jason and Aaron as well from our Metra studio up there in Florida, or down there in Florida.
Yeah, down.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Oh, God, here we go.
Like the sunshine.
First of all, I like you guys because you didn't bring up weather and temperature in the first 30 seconds of conversation. Right. So, but don't
inches of sun, we get 12 inches of snow.
How's this? 85 degrees today.
Oh, stop it.
I'm sweating, bro.
You guys have the air conditioning cranked, don't you?
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I like how when we were talking about vents, they were referring to air conditioning. All I can think about is, man, heat.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you're still going to get the same cool feeling on your skin. I'm like, really? That's not what I was thinking about. But
yeah. Well, we live on the AC down here.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Gatlin, let's dive in. Talk to us about Axxess Integrate.
Okay, so Axxess Integrate is another big part of the Metra umbrella. It's a lot of integration pieces, and with the world of vehicle technology changing and the dashes becoming more complicated to integrate into, the objective now for a lot of retailers is to integrate into those complicated factory radios where they have Apple CarPlay, they've got Android Auto, they've got all that. And in some cases where they don't have that and you're looking to upgrade the audio as well, we have applications for all of those things. So, we're going to dive deep into the world of integration on the Axxess brand through Metra. And I'll be definitely using the guys down here in the Metra studio to kind of, touch base and give you some more technical, details and aspects of these bits and pieces. But we've got some slides and some videos to show everyone here.
Absolutely. And I would like the opportunity for Team Metra to kind of shed a light onto how, the complexities of creating these kits, because there's so many variables, right? From steering wheel control to in some cases, climate control, cameras. I mean, can you share with us a little bit about the challenges of this category?
So, overall, the reverse engineering, the OE information, whether it's CAN bus or A to B or MOS 50, it's incredibly difficult because we have to mimic or make the vehicle think that our interface is the part that we're replacing. Mm-hmm. That's the whole idea. So when we go into developing an interface, there's a lot of research and there's a lot of development time and there's a lot of coding that goes back behind that. In our first segment, Aaron was talking about, or I think Gatlin was talking about, what's the first thing you do when you unbox an interface or anything, any kind of electronics, is you update it. And those updates are what keeps the Axxess product working in your vehicle. So everything is getting more integrated. Everything is getting, we got brand new vehicles coming out with 11-inch screens from the factory. Oh, yeah. HVAC controls are done through the screen. Even manuals are done through the OE screen.
Yep.
So those are all hurdles that Axxess has to overcome, or in some cases, like the manual, for example, those are features that the customer loses. So, obviously, thank God for Google and the internet, right?
Yeah.
So you can download the manual, but it is a constant battle to make sure that we're developing product for vehicles that are going to work when you guys plug it in. So,
and diving into that a bit further, everybody knows what it's like when your Apple phone updates and you have to update your apps, right? Manufacturers do that to their cars all the time. Say your customer takes the car in for service and there is a PCM or BCM update that's due on that. Guess what? They're going to have to come back and get that product updated. That's why it's important to make sure you're on our latest updates, because maybe by the time you bought the kit, they've taken the car in for service. It had an update. Now you got a kit that needs an update and you're getting ready to install it. If you didn't update it, it's not going to work. Then you got to take it back out, do the thing you should have done first, then
Correct.
put it back in.
Yep.
So,
And
update.
yeah, I can't stress that enough. It's, there's two things. There's reading the manual and then there's updating. And those are the two most important things that somehow get skipped.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I mean,
try to skip
to
past
give you-
that manual.
just to give you guys an idea is I think, tech support is getting an insane amount of calls every day, and they field calls every day, all day long. These guys don't really have a moment. I'm lucky I got them for these couple hours here. So if there's people that can really help you, it's our tech support, and they're willing to help you. That's what Aaron and the guys in the tech support office do.
It's not just in phone calls either, guys. We've got our Facebook page. We've got our Axxess Metra tech support page on Facebook, through our email systems. We have a lot of different avenues to allow people to contact us for tech support. But, as Aaron and Jason both just reiterated, I personally, as a Canadian rep for Metra, can't express the importance of taking the manual out, thoroughly reading it word for word, and updating your module. We're always chasing the OE, right, in regards to what they're doing, their updates. And so as things change and progress, it's important that people take that time, the 2 seconds, plug it into their USB port, update the module, get the latest firmware, and, in most cases, probably avoid a phone call to tech support at all. And so that's the biggest thing. So integration is always a world of chasing the OE, trying to figure out what we can do to get ourselves into the modules, into the vehicle, and replacing those pieces into the cars. And part of that is just making sure that things are updated and computers and things like that are in line with what they need to see.
Yeah, and what I really
right.
wanted the dealers to understand is the complexity of this category, in the sense that not only is this company Metra engineering the physical parts, right, that help you integrate. There is an entire back end, as Gatlin mentioned, chasing down OE updates to make sure from a software perspective that's working as well. So recognize that there is a very complex engineering design plan and process behind any of these products that we're going to cover today. On that note, why don't we start with our first one?
Sounds good. Let's get into it, Ben. All right, so this is our integration package for Pioneer in a Jeep Wrangler JL 2018 and up. And we've really done our due diligence on this one, boys. There's a big category for Jeep. And, when that new dashboard came out, there was some competitors coming out with stuff. And we wanted to make sure that we got it right. And we did it the right way. So this piece here allows you to retain the factory personalized menu through the Pioneer receiver. And I'll get Jason to kind of talk about that in just 1 second, because there's a little bit more involved. It's a very integrated piece. It's a visual view of the HVAC and the gauges through the aftermarket Pioneer radio. It works in both single and dual zone vehicles that have dual and single climate control. And it is a complete plug and play installation. So it includes the dash kit with our Axxess interface and vehicle specific T-harness. It also includes the I-beam weather resistant direct OE replacement rated IP68 camera, and includes a USB auxiliary HDMI replacement panel with a 3-foot length cord on it. So you got lots of length there to route it from behind the radio into the OE location there. And it also includes the radio antenna adapter for GPS. That's kind of a neat piece too. A lot of those off-road guys, they don't want to have an extra piece hanging out on their dash or having it on their roof. And so we make the installation as seamless as possible. And it includes a built-in stop-start engine override if it's equipped. That's a really neat piece. And I'll get, again, Jason to talk about that in just 1 second. And the most important thing, when people are looking for parts on Axxess is kind of determining, is it amplified? Is it non-amplified? Does it have a factory camera? Am I retaining steering wheel controls? Am I, all those questions are answered in just this one simple kit, and it's the AXPIO-JL1. And, I'll let Jason and Aaron kind of step in and talk about the exciting partnership that we've got with Pioneer on this kit.
Yeah, so man, Gatlin's right. It is an exciting partnership because the Axxess is now working with Pioneer so that we can access the information on the Pioneer screen or on the vehicle and display it on the aftermarket screen. So Pioneer, obviously, we've worked really closely with them. We're excited about this product because Aaron and I just installed one last weekend.
Oh yeah.
And Gatlin mentioned it was plug and play. It is plug and play, and it's a kit that goes together really easily. I've got some parts actually laid out here from the installation that we did that I can bring up and show if we've got some time. But it's a kit that again, it's totally a Jeep thing, right?
It's totally
everybody wants,
and we understand it.
Yeah, here's the thing about us Jeep people: we're herd animals that want to think we're individuals, but really we all like the same thing.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
So it's going to take whoever the leader of that herd is in your particular Jeep family up there, right? And then everybody in that Jeep club, because they're clubbers.
They got to wave at each other as they go by.
We do. There's an official wave, right?
Yes.
When you're driving, it's two up on the wheel,
Okay.
So,
right.
But outside of that, you get a hold of one Jeeper and you make that Jeeper feel special, they're all going to come and get one of these. And I think we've done my dashboard, 20 different times at this point. Probably. The hardest thing of this install, bar none, is going to be wire management. That's it. And you guys are pros. So wire management isn't a problem. So it's in and out.
And we've overcome some hurdles that are put in place from the factory so that you have a complete solution. That hurdle is obviously retaining the backup camera.
Mm-hmm.
So in those vehicles, and a lot of the newer Chrysler vehicles, they're all LVDS backup cameras.
What does LDVS stand for, Jason?
What's that?
What does LDVS stand for, so our guys know?
Low voltage video differential.
Wow.
Something like that. Basically, it means it's just a high-res camera.
It's not as 12.
It's a higher res.
Too many acronyms in my head.
Yeah, there are a lot of acronyms. But there are interfaces out in the market that can allow you to retain the factory backup camera, but that's going to add potentially an additional $150 to $250 in cost to the customer.
So I actually seen one just recently. One of our competitors' pieces installed in a friend of mine's that does retain that LVDS.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of noise in that camera. So they're taking that high-res signal and still reducing it down to a standard
composite video. So you have this great OE camera, but you're still knocking it down into a composite input. So you're going to have a loss in resolution regardless.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you have LVDS to a factory camera, you have an improved quality there. So what we did is through our I-beam line, we designed an aftermarket camera that replaces the factory LVDS camera. So we'll right now inside here. Actually, I'll take that. So we're going to come up here to the monitor here.
So that's what lives inside the what we're going to call it.
So
this piece.
Hopefully that's in focus there. But this is the factory LVDS camera. It's got a different style plug on it. And then here is our aftermarket camera. So this camera from the factory mounts in like that. And this is our aftermarket camera. We tooled up and built plastics. We have an aftermarket camera that is designed to fit into the housing. So it offers a complete solution. And all you have to do is run a backup camera cable, the normal cable when installing a backup camera, from the back of the vehicle to the front. You plug it into your aftermarket radio, and now you have backup camera. So, and it also saves from having additional costs to the customer.
Correct.
Because that extra $250 may break the deal. You never know. So all of this is included in one kit. So you really have an all-in-one solution. The only thing it doesn't come with is the radio.
Yeah, you got to bring the Pioneer. That's it.
Yeah, the Pioneer. And you could do the Pioneer modular radio, because we have the modular radio brackets included in the kit. Or you could do the Pioneer shell mount radio, which those brackets are included in the kit as well.
Now, if you end up doing the modular, just to let you guys know, plenty of space for the chassis under the driver's kit.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
right
so
at that knee bolster.
From Pioneer, you might have to get that extension cable.
Yeah,
that they offer.
Smooth install with that thing.
Yep. So
very, very nice. I love the collaboration. I like the collaboration with head unit manufacturers. That's really sweet.
Absolutely, it's important, especially moving forward with all of the newer style vehicles, and as much information that's on the OE screens, it's a must. So
yeah.
All right.
You get your audio video there, and again, of course, we touched base on the speaker adapters that go above the head there on those Jeeps as well. We've got all the solutions available for you, not just from the Axxess line, but from obviously Metra and Jeep accessories as well.
What say we look at a video?
Yeah.
It further illustrates this. Here we go.
Introducing the AXPIO-JL1 all-in-one interface and dash kit solution for 2018 and up Jeep Wranglers, both single or dual zone, amplified and non-amplified vehicles, for a plug-and-play install with the Pioneer DMH-4600 NEX and the WC4660 NEX radio, and the dash kit is painted scratch-resistant matte black to match your factory finish. The AXPIO-JL1 provides accessory power, nav outputs, retains wrap, audio controls on steering wheel, and safety chimes, all while allowing auto start-stop override, visuals of the HVAC and gauges on the Pioneer screen, and the retention and adjustment of the OE personalization features. The AXPIO-JL1 also includes the radio antenna adapter, GPS antenna adapter, the USB, auxiliary, and HDMI replacement panel, and an IP68 rated direct OE camera replacement. For any more information on this product, you can visit axxessinterfaces.com, find Metra Electronics on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. Thank you for choosing Metra Electronics. We are 12 volt.
All right.
Nobody voices over better than Brandon.
Nobody does. Those videos get so exciting every time I hear him. It's like, wow. Very informational. There's a lot of stuff, to kind of talk about on that one specific piece. But maybe I can just ask Jason, if you wouldn't mind just explaining a bit further our partnership with Pioneer on that.
Sure. Where Pioneer offers different types of controls through their aftermarket radio. Pioneer designed the GUI for the HVAC information that displays on their aftermarket screen. What Axxess has done is developed a partnership with Pioneer that allows us to gain access to that screen. And what that means in this particular case for the JL kit is we can display HVAC information on the Pioneer screen that was normally lost if you're installing an aftermarket radio. So what we're able to do, unlike the dual zone, and one thing I'd like to mention real quick about AC is there's two options that the kit covers, single zone and dual zone. Correct. If it's a single zone vehicle, it will only display the information on the screen. You can't physically control the AC from the Pioneer screen because it's all manual. If it's a dual zone vehicle, then because of our partnership, it gives us the ability to control the HVAC information from the screen and have it change temperature or fan speed or mode or whatever it is directly through the Pioneer screen. So some of the other things that we offer is obviously vehicle information, speed, TPMS information,
light indicator,
personalization, so you can still retain your your lighting when you exit the vehicle, or
And through the radio,
Yep.
the amazing start-stop override.
that's right.
I was going to ask you about that. Thank God you mentioned it.
So through the Pioneer screen, because we have all of the personalization menus located or accessible on the screen, we can go in and enable or disable that start-stop option in the vehicle.
So let's explain what that is. Just
here, like that start-stop option. So
it's the worst thing Chrysler ever put in there.
it's not just Chrysler. It's,
Well,
a lot of people.
Cafe standards and
Yeah.
shortcuts, but we'll call it. But for the Jeeps, it was a very debilitating thing. And why it's there is so when you pull up to a light, your engine shuts off and it saves you fuel. Now, what they call fuel savings in a Jeep is laughable. They're like 5% over the lifetime, but on a car that gets 8 miles to the gallon on its best day going downhill, that's not a lot.
Doesn't matter.
But what it does is if you have aftermarket accessories, right, as it's sitting there in stop mode, your amps are going to turn off because it drops below 10 volts. And other annoying features. And just in the back of your thought, Jeep guy, how much is this starter replacement going to cost me next year?
Yep.
They haven't advanced starter technology much. So, what that does is that eliminates that whole system. Essentially, what it does is when you turn the Jeep on, it presses the button for you.
That's it.
That's it. No magic. It just presses the button electronically for you.
Yep. So it's a great feature and option, and that's an example of our partnership with Pioneer, and a lot of it is just gaining access to display information on the Pioneer screen, and then also control vehicle settings from that Pioneer screen, and that's where the partnership comes into play.
Perfect. Galen, we will have to keep the good times rolling, gentlemen, because time is a ticking, and we have lots of stuff to cover.
Okay,
Moving on.
I'm
really excited about. So, go ahead, Ben. I probably cut you off.
No, I set you up. You go for it. This is
all right. Perfect. So this is our AX DSP X and our DSP Lite. Okay. So with the talk of this last segment there on the Jeep JL Wrangler, and integrating in an aftermarket radio into the already convoluted and complicated factory system. Now, our DSP is going to allow the end user to retain all of those factory features that would otherwise be lost by replacing the factory radio. Complicated. And it's not, in some cases, that it's not possible to replace the factory radio. It's just that it actually becomes cost prohibitive in order to replace that factory radio and still obtain all those factory features like your Apple CarPlay, your Android Auto, your factory backup camera, steering wheel controls, OE GPS, sometimes satellite radio, and the list kind of keeps going up. 360 view cameras, side view cameras, front view cameras, all that stuff, and that becomes kind of a bit convoluted in regards to replacing in order to get some better sound quality. And so what this piece allows us to do is retain that factory features of all of the vehicles that our applications allow, and give you a 30-band EQ, graphic EQ on each channel with high and low and bypass filters, 6 inputs, 10 individually assignable outputs, selectable high and low level inputs. Each channel has its own independent 2-way and 3-way crossovers in line with the EQ, and it can be used with OE and aftermarket radio, so or a pass-through device. We would hope that you wouldn't use it as a pass-through device, but we do have plug-and-play harnesses that come in with our DSP, either the X or the Lite. Chime control, so just like overriding the start and stop features of Dodge, Chrysler, Ford products, we've also kind of weaseled our way into the chime volumes and being able to turn all that stuff down so that it can attenuate on an aftermarket amplifier, not blast you with the door chimes of a GM door open, or you left your lights on, right? And of course, a bass control knob is also included with the AX DSP X, and each channel can be displayed independently up to 10 milliseconds. Easy behind the radio install. We've made these harnesses, and I'm not sure. Do I have one available here? I do have the DSP X in hand here, but I don't have any of the vehicle-specific harnesses. There is a gigantic vast and variety of OE harnessing available that plugs directly into the AX DSP X and the Lite. that allow you very seamless installation. And so again, the idea now with integration is to become profitable in the bay and efficient in the bay when you're installing. And there are other ways of integrating into a factory radio by hardwiring a DSP. But over here at Axxess, we've done our job and made it as easy as humanly possible for you to install a DSP into a factory radio and get that sound quality that everyone is looking for, but retaining that factory radio.
This is a very, very important category, especially with everybody wanting to, DSP, obviously 3 letters that mean so much in car audio these days. Team Metra, talk to us about where you think this unit separates itself from a couple other, offerings in the market right now.
So 100%, the DSP line is a necessary part for the install bay, right? So, we were talking in our last segment about newer kits and newer options.
Yeah.
And, our Cadillac SRS kit that we were developing, that we developed our brand new radio replacement dash kit for. When that Cadillac first came out, there was no reason to really replace that radio. And what we're seeing now is a lot of the larger tablet style or big screens in the vehicles. Customers don't want to get rid of that. They don't want to lose those features that the reason why they bought the car.
Right.
But they still want that ability to add in and upgrade their OE system.
Yeah.
And in the past, what has limited maybe installers, there are a lot of installers out there that can integrate into an OE amplifier without any problems. But then there are a lot that cannot. And the DSP will help both of them. So if there isn't a DSP solution, that means you have to tap the outputs of that factory amplifier. And that means that you're catching the signal after it comes out of that amplifier,
Correct.
which is already equalized, which is already crossed over, which is already time delayed. And it presents problems in most cases. Now, there's a lot of other companies out there that offer solution and fixes, but you're still taking a modified signal into a product that's going to combine it together, sum those channels together, and give you an output you can feed into your aftermarket amp. What the DSP X and L does is it eliminates that for you. Our DSP X, in most cases, allows you to remove that factory amplifier totally.
Yeah.
You're taking it out of the equation. So you no longer have the OE crossovers, the OE equalization. Now you have our DSP, which will give you a pass-through output. If you don't want to adjust crossovers, you don't want to adjust your equalizer, you just want to add in 4-channel and a sub-amp and just let the customer mess with their treble and bass through the OE screen,
You can do it.
you can do that. But if you want to get and take it to the next level, and you want to offer that tuning capability, the crossover adjustments, the time delays, you can also do that. And it's all done through our Axxess app. It's a free app. You can find it on the Apple and Android stores. But so really what this piece does is it takes amplifier. Everything is done through our plug-and-play harnessing.
Yep.
And through the coding that we have within the DSP.
And the great thing about it is we were talking the other day, these are going to be return customers because just as every technology does, it doesn't age well. So that factory system is going to age out and they're going to be coming back to you and you've already got the DSP in place.
That's right.
So as you do your integration module, you don't have to retune your whole system.
And when that vehicle ages out, guess who's going to have a kit for it?
This guy.
Metra.
Nice setup, gentlemen. Very nice setup.
Yeah.
Let's go to the video and we'll circle back.
Introducing Axxess Interface's DSP interface with amp bypass harness for 2016 and up Honda vehicles. The AX DSP-X-HN3. The HN3 includes the AX DSP-X, plug-and-play harnesses, data interface and amplifier bypass, and a bass knob. The AX DSP-X-HN3 retains the ability to work with the SP-DIF digitally controlled amplified systems, and the amplifier does not need to be retained. For the installation, wiring will need to be done at the amplifier location. For any more information on this product, you can visit axxessinterfaces.com, find Metra Electronics on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. Thank you for choosing Metra Electronics. We are 12 volt.
We are 12 volt.
Very, very cool.
So I'll just quickly unbox the DSPX. So here's the module. It's very teeny, small, compact, easily to install behind the factory OE radio. I have our update port right there as well. And again, talking about updates, the very first thing you want to do is you want to take this box. Okay, you want to pop this open just like that. You have the car in front of you. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to plug this guy directly into your computer, and you're going to update it. And just makes things really nice and easy. And that way, again, you can avoid a tech support phone call if you're running into issues in the future, and you got the whole thing slammed in behind the dash, and you're questioning, why isn't this thing attenuating the correct way, or what's going on, and I don't understand, and you're on the tech support phone call for an hour kind of waiting in line, the first question our tech support guys, and I'm sure Aaron can attest to this, is, did you update the module? And the guy's going to say no, and then we're going to say, you need to update it. So this is the first thing you need to do when you take this guy out of the box. And then this is what you get in just a standard AX DSP box on its own, is you get the power and the input side here. Power in the input side here, and I'll take that out of the box here. You can use a pair of scissors this time, guys. Okay? I'm not going to tear into the box. I'm going to do a really nice job of it. And so on the input side here, you have your power, your grounds, and then, of course, you have all of your input sides here, designated by RCA and wire color. So if your standard ISO wiring is what you're used to, you can install this directly into the factory audio side. Outputs of the factory radio. And then on the input side, again, another pair of scissors here, do a nice job and not ruin all the packaging, is you've got all of your output sides. So again, we've done our due diligence with these harnessing, and especially on the the plug and play applications, we've wrapped everything in this nice fabric tape here, and wire management becomes quite easy. So on the output side and the input side, you just plug it directly into the module. So I guess I should put that in camera view so you guys can see that. And it becomes literally just a plug and play device. So, I'll hide the bottom side here. Just picture this being your factory input side and your factory output side. You'll literally just T-harness that directly into the factory radio and, find a place to mount that module really nicely behind the dash there, guys.
Cool. Nice demo. Are we ready to move on to the next product?
I believe so. I want to talk about the applications, I guess, and maybe Aaron can talk about all the different applications. Just very quickly on the AX DSPX, everything from Hyundai, Honda, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ford, Harley Davidsons, Hondas. Am I missing anything, guys?
We're probably missing a bunch, but that's,
pretty much. Here's the deal: if we don't have a plug and play harness with it, the standalone is still a good option for you.
Absolutely.
So there's no application that it can't do.
That's right.
I think Aaron's going to like this piece.
I think he is too. So let's let him take over on this one.
What?
Oh, you guys can't read that.
No, they can't read it.
Yeah,
I can't see, man.
It's
I'm
too far
sorry.
away.
I'm sorry.
We don't have our.
So this is our patent pending interface, which is designed to automatically disengage the auto stop start features on select Ford, Chrysler vehicles, which may be bothersome to some people. And as Aaron mentioned in the last piece there with the start and stop feature on the Jeep, when you're stopped at a stoplight and say you have an aftermarket amplifier in your vehicle and it starts and stops, and it gets very annoying. The amplifier will cut out. People kind of look at you left and right. Why is your car starting at the stoplight? Did it die down, or did it idle out, or is there an issue with it? And so what this piece does is it's literally a plug and play 4-wire installation. Plug and play in most cases, 4-wire installation, which is done at the radio location on GM vehicles. And again, it allows the override of the OE stop and start features, can be used with the OE and aftermarket radios. It's a simple 2-wire installation under the hood, water resistant housing, and it retains your factory remote start feature as well.
So again, that's not just for amps too. If you got kids on your, say, Chevy minivan, right, and you put drop downs in for them, guess what? They're going to be coming back.
Yeah.
Drop downs are shutting off during start stop. So it's a good little +1 feature for your install. They're honestly not going to be losing a lot of miles per gallon unless they do a hell of a lot of city driving.
I think it becomes like a convenience.
Yeah.
People perceive it as an inconvenience, and I don't have a start stop in my vehicle, but if I did, I wouldn't want it, just because it's to me anyway, just doesn't seem natural.
It's a stopgap. It is literally a stopgap as the industry transitions away from combustion engines to electric or hybrid. But it is just that, a stopgap. It's a patch, a fix, and it really is just, like you said, more of an inconvenience than it is a feature.
I have a question.
Sure.
What is the breakout of applications for this type of interface? Is it just, how many vehicles? Because I can imagine there's a lot of vehicles that now have this annoying stop-start feature.
So the vehicle application list always grows. Obviously, we have a primary focus for the big three, right? Chevy, Ford, and GM, Ford, and Chrysler. So, what we do is what Axxess does is they get into the vehicles to test the product.
Yeah.
Then they add it to the application chart. So it's a constantly growing and evolving application chart. Now, this is also important for our distributors and our dealers and even our customers to know, is the guys in tech support, if they're, a lot of times they get calls for applications. And, if we don't cover that application, that goes on a list.
Yeah.
And that list makes it to the research and development department, and we go out and we look for that vehicle. We try to combine it together with some other development projects. So we're not just bringing it in for one purpose, but if we need to, that's what we'll do.
And what I would say is, if you guys do have fitment questions, because tech support is busy and
They are.
we miss some things, just we're human, right? If we have that paper trail, it makes that easier. So if it's something that you're looking for a fitment question, hit us up on the email or on the Facebook group. It's tech support at metra.com. Don't call me. Call Gatlin.
Call Gatlin.
But literally for us in tech support, we want to get those applications out there, and like I said, just for us, that paper trail makes it easier. Gatlin, certainly a good opportunity there. He emails me applications all the time. Hey, I got this list. Can you add it? And so keep in touch. The other thing I want to throw out there is we have some installers who are cowboys, man, and they are just willing to go the mile, right? So on the start stop for a Ford, one of them grabbed it and made it work on an Expedition. So even though it's not tested for that application at the time.
Right.
So not saying do that, but if it works, let us know. And then we can have them bring it in and test it.
That's right.
Let's go to the video.
Hi, Brandon from Metra Electronics, here to introduce you to Axxess Interface's brand new AX-SSO Start-Stop Override interface. This interface is designed to automatically disengage the start-stop engine feature on select Ford and Chrysler vehicles, which may also be bothersome to some people. Now installers can offer drivers the option to override or re-engage this feature automatically, whether they have the factory radio or an aftermarket radio installed. For any more information on this product, you can visit us at axxessinterfaces.com, find Metra Electronics on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. Thank you for choosing Metra Electronics. We are 12 volt.
I'm going to have that man's voice permanently stuck in my head for quite a long time after today goes.
He does such a great job, right?
It's not a bad voice to have stuck in your head.
No,
Nope.
I guess not.
Always remember Metra.
You should make T-shirts though. We are 12 volt. That's a pretty cool slogan.
We have them.
We do.
We do.
Well, send some over. I'll wear it during our broadcast. What are you doing? Come on, Gatlin. Send some swag.
Are you 12 volt? No. I'm
Good point.
110
Get
volt,
'em.
110 volt.
Yeah.
I tell you, if I used to install
Powered
way
by
back in
Mountain
the
Dew.
day when we didn't have all these tools of integration. I mean, I think I'd be a great installer today with all these tools at hand that Metra could provide. Man, I'll tell you what.
It does. It really does make it. We do our best to make sure it's straightforward.
Yeah.
If there's a plug and play option, that's what we're going to offer the customer. Just because it not only helps. It helps us as far as development and testing and troubleshooting, but it also helps the customer, and it also helps these guys too, because if it just saves on that one phone call, that might be the difference between,
me having to say, did you ground it?
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah.
So we
Tech support isn't
really
there.
ourselves.
It's there to provide tech support, right? And I guess at the end of the day, some of the consumers might call and they might be in their driveway and they didn't read the instructions, they didn't update the module, and they want us to handhold them during the installation process. And that's not tech support's job.
Not just end consumers anymore.
No, I mean,
the entryway of
but
installers has grown quite a bit.
It is important to know that if there is a customer that needs that type of support, these guys can do it. They've done it many times. They probably do it on a daily basis.
More than I care to count.
So, I mean, one thing that we're here to do, Metra is here to do, is just to help. If we help everybody, then we all move forward and we all grow as a team. So
yeah, and not to jump in real quick, but just kind of a philosophy that we have in tech support. We will help you, but we're also here to help educate you on maybe that piece that you missed, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not that we're being stressful on you if we ask you to go over something that you've already done. It's just that we want to stress how important that is to maybe save you the aggravation on your next install. So it's not that we're there to give you a hard time. We're just literally trying to help get you over that bridge so you don't have this problem again.
Yeah. The takeaway for me for this segment, especially with Axxess Integrate, is you guys have taken the time to engineer the products. You back it up with tech support, with great software updates. Again, I'm going to reiterate what you guys are both saying: update your unit before panicking or anything else. But literally, piece by piece, as the session, as this day continues, the only thing I feel bad for are companies who make soldering irons and solder, because do new technicians even know how to solder? Do they even Because I don't know. I used to get all cut up and burnt and stuff. I haven't seen a single piece that requires any soldering yet.
There are. I mean, look, I think you still have to do the normal day-to-day, wiring of your radio harness to our interface harness or our 70 series harness. But if there's an opportunity, we want to take care of that for you.
Yeah, cool.
And even as something as simple as within our JL kit that we were talking about earlier in the segment, we have a pre-wired Pioneer plug. So there aren't any speaker wires or accessory or constant to connect. You really just plug it in and then plug it into the radio. So that's
so easy.
If we have that option, we push for that option.
Yeah. Why not? Guys, we're at the bottom of the hour. I'm going to throw up the digits.
There
if you're a dealer looking and watching right now, we got, of course, many more sessions to go. But get a hold of Gatlin. He's Metra Canadian Sales, and he will point you in the right direction. He'll evaluate what your needs are and set you up with one of Metra's many distributors.
That's right.
You got it. Thank you so much, guys. That was a good one. We'll be back shortly with another Metra session. That's it. Axxess Integrate by Metra. Check that out. Contact Gatlin if you're looking at getting on with some cool integration units that'll really help get more jobs into your bay and make your customers happier, because they're not going to be sacrificing any OE features to get the features they need, such as Android Auto or CarPlay, like we had discussed. All right, that's it for this session. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, we connect.